Let's explore HTML drag and drop functionality and learn how to build interactive user interfaces with it. This feature uses the native browser API, meaning no external libraries are required. It provides intuitive interaction, enhances user experience, and works seamlessly with mouse and touch interactions. Now let's take a look at an overview of HTML drag and drop. It is a native browser application programming interface, so no libraries are needed. It utilizes HTML5 drag and drop events. It's compatible with both mouse and touch interactions, and it empowers intuitive user experiences. It is also supported by all modern browsers. Here's a basic HTML structure for drag and drop. There is a draggable container class, inside which there is item 1 whose draggable attribute is set to true. Similarly, there is a drop zone division. In this section, we'll discuss the sequence of events in HTML drag and drop. There are source element events and target element events. Events that fire on the element being dragged are drag start, which fires when the drag begins, drag, which fires continuously during drag, and drag end, which fires when the drag operation ends. The events that fire on potential drop targets are drag enter, which fires when a dragged item enters, drag over, which fires continuously while over the target, drag leave, which fires when the dragged item leaves, and drop, which fires when the item is dropped. These events occur in the order drag start, drag enter or drag over, drop, and finally drag end. Let's learn how to make elements draggable. To enable the drag functionality for an HTML element, add the attribute draggable equals true and implement the drag start event handler. So set the draggable attribute to true. Use DataTransfer to store data during the drag. Set effect allowed to control the cursor appearance. Add visual feedback with Cascade styling sheet classes. In the code, you can see that the draggable attribute is set to true for a div element, and event listeners are added to call functions on drag start. Let's see how to create drop targets. Any element can be a drop target. We must prevent the default on the drag over event. We handle the drop event to process the drop data. We use visual cues to indicate valid drop zones and set the drop effect to match effect allowed. Consider the code snippet for more clarification. Drag over and drop event listeners are added for the element with drop zone ID. Here we will explore the DataTransfer object. The DataTransfer object has properties like drop effect for visual feedback, which can be none, copy, link, or move, effect allowed, which specifies allowed operations such as none, copy link, etc., files, which is the list of files being dragged, if any, and types, which is the array of data formats or types available. The methods are setData, which adds data of a specified format, getData, which retrieves data of the specified format, clearData, which removes data of the specified format, and setDragImage, which sets a custom drag feedback image. Consider the code snippet for a better understanding. In this section, we are going to add visual feedback to enhance the user experience. We use Cascade styling sheet classes to style elements during drag. We set custom drag images with the setDragImage method. We can change the cursor with the drop effect property. We can highlight valid drop targets on drag enter and indicate invalid drops with visual cues. Here is an example code snippet of how to achieve this with Cascade styling sheet. Here's a complete example of drag and drop functionality using HTML, JavaScript, and Cascade styling sheet. We have two divisions with class names source container and drop zone respectively. In source container, we have two more divisions, namely item 1 and item 2. Correspondingly, event listeners are added to the drag start, drag end, drag enter, drag over, drag leave, and drop events in the JavaScript code. These are the key event handlers. The function handle drag start stores the dragged element's identification sets the effect allowed and adds a dragging class. The function handle Draggover prevents default to allow the drop and sets the drop effect. The function handle DragEnter adds a visual cue for a valid drop target. The function handle Drop prevents default, gets the identification of the dragged element, and appends the dragged element to the target. Let's look at the best practices for HTML drag and drop. Always prevent default on Draggover for drop targets. Provide clear visual feedback during drag operations. Use appropriate multipurpose Internet mail extensions types for data transfer, and clean up event listeners when components unmount. Some common pitfalls are forgetting to prevent default on Draggover events, not providing adequate visual feedback, ignoring touch devices, and overcomplicating the implementation. For further exploration, you can refer to the given resources. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.